Coming up on Hunter News Now, meet CUNY's new chancellor. He's the first Latino to hold this position and has ties to Hunter.
And find out who came out on top for our men and women's sports teams.
And learn about Hunter's partnership with the Fresh Food Box program. Plus, details on how you may be able to get some free produce. All that and more on Hunter News Now.
Welcome to Hunter News Now. I'm Luisa Imbachi.
And I'm Christy Calle. CUNY schools are welcoming a new chancellor. His name is Felix Mateos Rodriguez, and he's the first Latino to hold this position. He was appointed just last month after serving as the president of Queens College for 14 years. While he was at Queens College, he led an initiative to make the faculty more diverse. Now, about half of the faculty and administration at Queens College are people of color. He also has a Hunter connection and led the Center for Puerto Rican Studies for 5 years. Chancellor Rodriguez's first day on the job is May 1st.
Education Secretary Betsy DeVos wants to change Title IX, the law that prevents sex discrimination in education. The law also protects students from sexual harassment and assault on college campuses. The proposal would change what's considered sexual assault and would require colleges to hold a hearing where both sides could be cross-examined. Both SUNY and CUNY have come out against the proposal and say those changes will make campuses less safe and protect those accused of sexual assault, not the victim.
It's never too early to start networking, and you can do it right here on campus. Hunter College offers a career fair every semester where students and alumni meet face-to-face with potential employers. The spring fair last week included companies ranging from nonprofit organizations to banks and the New York State government agencies. Caitlin Munson has more on how to maximize your job opportunities and make sure you stand out in the process.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So most of our classes are technology driven as well.
Meet Robbie Pliego. He's one of thousands of seniors at Hunter College looking for a job after graduation. As a psychology major, Pliego spends his spare time teaching high school students in an after-school program. With his passion to help others learn, Pliego is optimistic about his prospects.
I'm going to try to go into teaching and have a program which I'm able to teach as well as get my master's at the same time. So I thought the opportunity was great, so I'm really interested in that, and I'm happy that there's a college fair and seeing what other opportunities there are for me.
78 employers attended Hunter College's career fair this semester to recruit students. Big companies including BBC Studios, CityMD Urgent Care, and Walgreens are in hopes of looking for qualified individuals. Business majors and technology skills are in high demand. To help prepare for the career fair, Hunter hosted Resume Rush. This opportunity allowed individuals to meet one-on-one with counselors to help give their resumes the results they need. One tip of advice, always bring multiple copies when going to a hiring event. More than 40% of graduates take on a job that doesn't require a college degree because they're eager to find work. This means 1 in 5 students is underemployed a decade after leaving school. To avoid this, human resources recruiter Desmond Chase believes it's important for employees to help students get a head start while they're in school.
They come to work with us part-time so that when they graduate, they could say, I have 3 or 4 years experience in the field. So they don't have to start at entry level, they could start with supervisory and above positions. Right.
Associate Director of Career Development Services Shayne Bernstein says, even with that work experience, students need a multi-pronged approach.
Look at multiple, diversify your job search strategy. Don't just rely on open job positions you find on job boards. You need to really start networking.
With graduation only 3 months away, Pliego hopes to land a full-time teaching position at his current school, University Settlement, but is also open to doing what he loves elsewhere. Caitlin Munson, Hunter News Now.
CUNY Dreamers who aren't quite ready to look for a job can apply for a brand new fellowship. The New York Immigration Coalition is offering a fellowship for CUNY Dreamers that will train students in leadership, personal development, and immigration advocacy. Participants of the program will also receive a scholarship of at least $3,000, to help pay for their tuition at a CUNY school. The application deadline for this semester was in January. but it will be offered again, and students should check out nyic.org for more information.
When we return, we'll be talking to Shayne Bernstein, Associate Director of the Career Development Services here at Hunter College.
And we'll also take a look at the new College Hunter website. Stay with us. Hunter College has recently unveiled its brand new website. Its minimalistic design and navigation bars make it easy for students and faculty to find what they're looking for. According to students, it's now easier to access academic calendars, login information, and upcoming events around campus. Make sure you check it out at hunter.cuny.edu. As you saw in our story about the career fair, it is that time of the year again. Graduating seniors are out networking and thinking about landing a job.
But according to our guest, it's never too early to start thinking about your career. And there are a lot of people right here at Hunter in the Career Development Services Center to guide you. Joining us today to talk about what the CDS is doing to help students succeed during and even after they graduate is the Associate Director, Shayne Bernstein.
Thanks for joining us, Shayne. So we want to know, is the job market better or worse than last year?
Well, I was just reading a report that came out from NACE, the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And it says the NACE Job Outlook Survey projects a 16.6 increase in new graduate hiring for 2019, a sharp increase over the relatively flat rate of 5% experienced in the past 2 years. So that's looking good.
Oh, that's awesome.
What would you say are some of the hot jobs in the market today?
That's a very interesting question because a lot of people will say certain industry, that's where the jobs are. But for students, it's really about finding your passion. And when you follow your passion and you seek out opportunities that make you happy, that go to your skill set, then you will land a job. So don't worry if IT or nursing or other areas you think that's where the jobs are, because that might not be you. And so you really have to follow your passion.
Oh, there are about 2 million students graduating with a bachelor degree. What can you suggest to Hunter students to distinguish themselves among others?
First and foremost, come to the Career Development Services office. We have a lot to offer, and we're really there to help guide students, especially graduating seniors. It is really important for anybody who is graduating to have a plan of action. It's time to really think about, what do you enjoy? What are you good at? What don't you like, so that you can stay away from that. So you can really target your job search, and then we help you strategize that job search in terms of research, different career boards to look at, networking opportunities. So it's really important that you have a plan together, you execute, you research industry and what type of position you're interested in, and you don't get discouraged, because there will be times when you don't get those callbacks, but it is a numbers game. So you just really need to get yourself out there and stay positive.
So you mentioned going for a job that you're really passionate about. Some students are conflicted between going for something that's really going to get them a job and something that they really love. What would you say to those students?
Follow what you love, because ultimately that's when you're going to find satisfaction. So if you're just doing a job to do a job, that can be anywhere. Now, if you are going into a certain industry, let's say acting, where it's really hard, then you might want to consider having just a day job where you know you're going to get benefits and a steady income, but you're still pursuing that type of passion. But for somebody that is planning to come to Hunter and definitely go into the nursing program because they think that's where the jobs are, I would say no. Take a step back. Think what you really, want to do, and follow that path. That's going to suit you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and you'll be seeing me again because I am a senior and I need your help.
I hope so. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, we're going to check out an exhibit on the Declaration of Human Rights right here at the Roosevelt House.
We'll also see our Scholar Athlete of the Week in action. He's a basketball player who pushes himself and his teammates to do their very best. Stick around.
Right down the block from Hunter College, the Roosevelt House is honoring Eleanor Roosevelt's efforts to establish the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 70 years ago. The exhibit, which opened in October, explains how the Declaration came to be and its impact on human rights. Addison Gettenberg has more on how this historic document was created and its lasting relevance.
Rights are universal, to be enjoyed by all people, no matter who they are, where they live, or who they love. At least, according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, now on display at the Roosevelt House. Curator Deborah Gardner says 48 countries signed the document.
It's not just a document that descended from someplace. It actually was forged by an international group of people who are working together on a committee and working out their differences.
The exhibit at Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt's former residence allows viewers to visualize the significant declaration so important in both U.S. and world history, and to contextualize it into today's society. Hunter art history student Julia Shu believes human rights issues today are more specific than they were 70 years ago.
It's about having the same opportunities as everyone else. Because I feel like before, like questions of gender and sexuality wasn't even a thing, or immigrants, it wasn't even a thing because the race problem was so big.
The Roosevelt House just celebrated its 75th anniversary in 2018. It is now home to Hunter College's Institute of Public Policy, which honors the legacies of Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt by teaching students about human rights. If you're interested in seeing the Declaration of Human Rights firsthand, there's still time to check it out. The exhibit is open until April 1st. Addison Gettenberg, Hunter News Now.
Now it's time to check in on Hunter Sports with Alonzo Espinoza. Hey, Alonzo.
Hey, Alonzo, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Christy. Hey, Maria Lisa. It's been a busy couple of weeks with many teams ending their seasons and others just beginning. Hunter College Wrestling wrapped up its season at the NCAA Mid-East Regional Tournament hosted by the College of Brockport. Sean Miller, Sergey Thomas, and Andrew Cota all placed at this tournament after winning several matches. Men's and women's indoor track and field team capped off their season at the ECAC Championship with Bianca Ray and Isaac Marajada competing last Saturday. Ray finished in 6th place in the 800-meter run, and Marajada placed 4th in the men's triple jump. The men's volleyball team have been crushing the competition lately with an overall record of 10 wins and 4 losses. For their home matches, they actually hold a perfect record so far. Their next matches are against John Jay and Brooklyn College. But the biggest and best news comes from the women's basketball team. They captured the CUNY Athletic Conference Championship for the first time in 15 years. Janine Conway led all scorers with 24 points and took home the most valuable player. Definitely a nice way for the graduating seniors to leave their mark on Hawks history. Unfortunately, not as good of a year for the men's basketball team. The men ended their season with 6 wins and 19 losses. Despite the tough season though, junior Gio Gabadon scored 158 points and 78 rebounds, earning him the honor of being our first Scholar Athlete of the semester. Hunter News Now reporter Brittany Barnett has this closer look on Gabadon and his men's basketball team.
I like the competitiveness, like just the ability to compete with the game that you love is just like the best for me. My name is Gio Gabadon. I'm a junior on the men's basketball team. I've been playing basketball since probably the age of 4. I always used to play with my dad, and I fell in love like at a very young age. I'd say my mother is probably like my biggest inspiration. She's been at every single one of my games in high school, and last year she was at like every home game. I do have a leadership role. I've been here for 3 years now, and I was captain last year, so I really think I do have a leadership role over these guys, and I can put them in the right spot to be successful. My teammates are like my best friends in like real life. Like we hang out with each other all the time. We play basketball together. We go out to eat together. So we really like do everything together. We practice about 6 days a week. Every practice is roughly 2 hours. We go through a lot of basketball drills, whether it be layup, shooting, and then a lot of communication drills that help us like with our games. And then we would go into like scouting for different teams after all of that. I don't really think when I'm on the court, I just play. Before games, I try to slow things down in my mind, like take deep breaths, stay relaxed before like the game actually starts, because then a lot of, adrenaline kicks in and your heart rate speeds up. So I just try to stay calm. Usually it's no pressure because I know myself, I know what I can do, so it's just going out there and like performing. I'm currently a psych major. It's a challenge, but if you want to do what you love, you have to make time for both like equally. So you have to be a student first and then basketball. I love my coaches. They're like really good guys and they really push me to get better. That's what I really like about all of them. They all like push me, they push the team. They really have high expectations for us. My favorite thing about basketball is scoring. Like everybody loves to score. My least favorite, losing. I really hate losing. Like I'm like really competitive, so like losing really like gets at me.
Here we go. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Hey!
The men's basketball team is not graduating any seniors this year, so they'll be back on the court next year. And that's it for sports.
Thanks, Alonzo. Way to go, women's basketball.
Oh yeah, girl power.
Coming up next, hear what our fellow Hunter students have to say about the importance of recycling.
And later, find out where to get fresh fruits and vegetables right here on campus. We'll be right back. Hunter College is doing its part to reduce the waste that ends up in landfills. Everyone has seen those big blue bins around the campus where you separate your paper, trash from plastic and glass. According to facilities, there are literally hundreds of those bins all around Hunter, but many students are still confused about what goes where. In this edition of Hunter Students Speak, I check with students to hear what they think about recycling.
Recycling, usually when I'm throwing away my stuff, like I make an effort to be like, all right, this goes here, this goes there.
Maybe not everybody is well informed, but I'm sure that maybe some flyers or something could help with that.
With container, it's a little hard to kind of push in and people don't have the time when you're rushing in the hallways. It's really hard to kind of throw the stuff in and make sure you're recycling.
Probably just more bins around the school just because it gets crazy after those lunch hours and stuff like that, especially the ones in the cafeteria. Those fill up relatively quickly, so if they had more of those around, it'd be easy.
Yeah, I like it, but I know that
in my opinion, I don't know, I'm probably completely wrong and I'm just ignorant, but I think Chipotle or just places in general just throw the recycling bin, the trash from the recycling bin, the same place they would throw the regular garbage at.
Well, with all the different bins around school, as far as whether it's become harder to recycle around Hunter, I don't think it should be by definition hard. It's just that it's all about whether the students actually care.
I think a lot of people don't know how complicated recycling can be in terms of cardboards and things like that can't be contaminated with food and all these protocols, and they're not informing students, so students end up thinking they're recycling, but they're not.
And so I think Hunter College should educate students about that if they're interested in preserving the environment.
Paper waste accounts for 40% of Hunter's trash.
And here's another example of student interest in sustainability, Maria Luisa. The Farm to Table movement has come to Hunter College, thanks to a partnership with Grow NYC. Students, staff, and faculty can now pick up fresh fruits and vegetables right here on campus. Michelle Velez has more on this new program that promotes healthier eating.
Leo Lopez, senior at Hunter College, has found an easier and more affordable way to eat healthy thanks to Fresh Food Box.
This is my first week. I bought it last week and I'm picking it up today. So it's more of the idea that it's like kind of a curated package that you just kind of be given.
That package is full of organic vegetables like kale and costs $14 a week.
Well, they had 2 big portobello mushrooms, and I love mushrooms and I like portobello mushrooms. And they also had shallots. So I'm probably just going to turn that into a recipe that I already have, which is an onion mushroom sauce that I tend to like to make.
Fresh Food Box brings produce from local farmers every Thursday to the 3rd floor of the North Building from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. Each bag contains whatever is in season that week. This week,
it's kale. This is kind of a surprise because you don't really know what you're getting until the day of or maybe day before when we send out our newsletter with information about the bag. So it's kind of fun.
Director of Student Life at Hunter College, Misha Smith, says Hunter decided to try this program because a lot of students can't afford fresh produce.
Just because a student is in need or doesn't have as much money, and this is what Hunter believes to its core, doesn't mean that they shouldn't be getting the same quality. Just because you're getting a lower cost food option doesn't mean that it shouldn't be healthy or nutritious for you.
Hunter also offers vouchers for students who need financial assistance to pay for the produce. As for Leo, he will be trying out a lot of new vegetables.
I got this, which I think is Swiss chard. No idea what it is or what it does, what it tastes like. Tastes like greens.
Michelle Velas, Hunter News Now.
Now that spring's coming up, I'm definitely going to be eating more fruits.
I cannot wait for the fruit salad myself. And that's all for this edition of Hunter News Now. Please check out all our student stories at our YouTube channel, Hunter College Journalism.
And follow us on @HunterJourn on Twitter and @Hunter, JOURPGM on Instagram. On behalf of everyone in the studio, thank you for watching.